Welcome to Charter Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance, and we are coming to you from Washington, D.C. We are joined by John Shimkus. He is a member of the United States Congress representing the great state of Illinois. Sir, thank you for joining us. I'd like to speak with you about the different branches of government. We have three equal branches of government.
Right.
And I get a sense from reading your website and otherwise that you have some concerns that maybe the branches are not acting in a co-equal fashion.
Well, not just me, it's the folks in my district who I represent. They're very concerned about this quote-unquote Imperial Presidency, and this, the President himself said, I have a phone, I have a pen, I can do what I want. Well, we have a Constitution.
Right.
And we're trying to make sure that he remembers that. And it's a scary proposition if the chief executive says, I don't need you guys.
Right. I remember that during the State of the Union, President Obama had mentioned that if necessary, he would use what's known as the executive order to sign certain rules or regulations. And it's a tool that's been used by presidents on both sides of the aisle, but that really caused a lot of consternation amongst your caucus. Explain why that was so frustrating.
Well, executive orders have always been used, and they are based upon laws that have been passed. So then the question is, to what extent do then you push the limits and the outer limits of the bonds? And we would argue that he's done numerous things that he has no legal authority to do. So I deal with high-level nuclear waste, and he shut down the operation of Yucca Mountain when it's the law of the land, and we had money on the table to move this project forward. So there's enough examples of that to have people concerned.
Let's talk about the Affordable Care Act, because it's interesting that he has used, I'm not sure if we would call it an executive order, but he has used certain powers to delay certain elements of the Affordable Care Act, which may be pleasing to some, even in your party, but that also has caused some consternation. Talk to us about that.
Well, 20 times he's changed the law. Now, if you want to look at the Constitution, which we do, it faithfully execute, you might have some wiggle room. He's trying to delay some of the portions to faithfully execute. But we would also argue that he could go to us on something like the individual mandate, ask us to move a bill. We actually passed a bill out of the House, but he said he would veto it. Now, it doesn't make much sense if he's going to use some type of executive authority to delay the individual mandate, and we're offering to do it by legislation, and he refuses to do that.
There's no question that the Affordable Care Act continues to be controversial throughout the nation. At this stage, though, 4 million people have signed up, and some states have engaged in an expansion of Medicaid. So a repeal could be a challenge. I think it's fair to say. Is the president going to sign a repeal order?
Right.
So if we just put that aside for argument's sake, that the president will not sign a repeal order, what can be done to improve the Affordable Care Act? Because Democrats and Republicans both seem to be interested in making it better, improving it.
Well, there's a lot of things that we've actually also proposed, but one thing that really affects a lot of small business or fast food retail locations is this 29-hour work week, moving that up to the 40-hour work week for health insurance. That's something we think we can do.
That's the part-time element?
That's that part-time element. I think that's something that we can do. But our issue is, with this law, almost everyone has higher cost on less services.
Could that change if more people sign up through market forces?
Well, I think it could change if you allowed the insurance products to be more competitive in the options they present. The problem is, this is a government one-size-fits-all. You've got bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Those are your options, not all these other options that the free market would set in place.
Okay, his name is John Shimkus. He is a member of the United States Congress representing the great state of Illinois. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you for watching Charter Local Edition, coming to you from Washington, D.C.